Going into yesterday's game, I was feeling very confident that the Pistons can do some damage into the playoffs. And I was starting to think in the back of my head, are they really that good? Are they really able to contend if they do go to the playoffs? And yesterday answered some questions for me. I still want to see how we do against Denver because Boston didn't have Jaylen Brown, but that's neither here or there. We didn't have Jaden Ivey. You don't just go on an 8-game winning streak in the NBA. You don't. For all the skeptical fans out there, as this team legit, you just don't go on an 8-game winning streak. You don't. That's very impressive to do in the NBA, and hell, we haven't done it since 2008. So let's go, baby. And yesterday we beat the defending champs on our home court. And usually when we play Boston, we haven't beat them in 3 years. We play them tight. Earlier in the season, we had a chance to beat them. We just didn't know how to close out games earlier in the year, and now we're closing out games. We're keeping the pedal to the metal, and yesterday was a full team effort from the start to the jump. The Pistons jumped on the defending champions and didn't let them breathe. The Detroit Pistons are legit. The Detroit Pistons are going to do some damage in the playoffs, and who knows if they can even contend for a title. Let's see how they play against Cleveland, and let's see how they play against OKC, and let's see how they play against Denver tomorrow night before I get to that conclusion. But right now, I'm feeling very confident in this Detroit Pistons team. Last night, Cade Cunningham had 21 points, 11 assists. He's doing his thing like he's been doing the whole season. He's an MVP candidate. I'm going to say that in every single video. If he doesn't get all NBA, if he doesn't get any MVP votes, the NBA writers do not know what they're talking about, because this dude is a legit baller. This dude is a top 5 player in the league. He's the top point guard in the league, in my opinion. That's just how he's been playing. And without Cade Cunningham, the Pistons wouldn't be where they're at right now. And that's the definition of an MVP. And then you have Malik Beasley coming off the bench and just hitting unbelievable shots. He's looking like Steph Curry out there. There was one, he missed a shot, got his own rebound, shot it right over 2 defenders' face and drained it in their face, and the crowd's going crazy. He's animated with the crowd. How's about LCA? LCA has been packed. The fans are starting to get behind this team, and the chemistry of this team. You saw the video of them dancing before on the Pistons social media. They're dancing before the game. Stu's hitting the surfboard. They're all having fun, and that's what's fun about this team. This team is just fun to watch. They get out in transition. They throw lobs to each other. They're dunking. They're hitting threes. They're playing defense. They're diving for loose balls. It's all about Detroit hustle, and that's why this city loves them. That's why this team is so much fun to watch. This is one of my favorite basketball teams I think I've ever watched, because they're just young, they fly around, they dunk, they hit threes, they dive for loose balls, and they love playing for one another. And how about JB Bickerstaff? I don't think we give him enough credit for what he's done, or the NBA is giving him enough credit for what he's done. He should win Coach of the Year. I understand Cleveland's having a heck of a season, but they were good last year. They made the playoffs. The Pistons were literally the worst team in the NBA last year, and he's got them competing for the number 4 seed and could possibly host a playoff series. And who knows what could happen if this Detroit Pistons host a playoff series. LCA is starting to get packed. That atmosphere is starting to get a little crazy, and I love it. I love that the Bickerstaff is barking at the refs. Finally, someone that gets fired up defending this Detroit team. We're starting to get some calls because Bickerstaff's chewing at the refs. Cade was getting in the refs' face last night. Start calling calls for this Detroit Pistons. We're no longer the worst team in the NBA. Start giving us some calls. That's all I care about, because you got teams like OKC, you got teams like Cleveland, you got teams like Boston, you got teams like LA, you got teams like Denver that get every single call. And that's why, I'm not saying that's why they're good, but that's a big help throughout the game. This Detroit Pistons team is just fun. They're fighting people. They're hustling. Bickerstaff's on the sidelines chewing at the refs. It's just a fun team to watch. And how about Greg Kelsler and George Blaha? For the last 15 or so years, they've had to announce just mediocre to below average basketball games, and now they're having fun. You could tell in Greg Kelsler's voice, you could tell in George Blaha's voice that they're having fun announcing for this team. They're enjoying themselves again. They're enjoying seeing good basketball. And like I said earlier in the video, you don't just go on an 8-game winning streak in the NBA. That's super impressive. And tomorrow, if they beat the Denver Nuggets, that's going to be 9 in a row. And then we got Utah and Brooklyn, I think, coming up. So who knows how long this streak could last. It could end tomorrow night against Denver, but Denver's on a back-to-back with Milwaukee. So hopefully they beat Milwaukee, and then we beat Denver the following night. Then we'll move up to the 5 seed, baby. Can you believe it? We're saying the Detroit Pistons will move up to the number 5 seed in the NBA, in the Eastern Conference. And New York, we're coming for you, that 3 seed. I could see us climbing the standings, and New York's got a 6-game lead on us right now, 5-game lead on us right now. But just the way this team is playing. We got Washington twice. We got a few scrub teams we still got left on our schedule. We got Milwaukee. We got Cleveland. We got OKC. Let's see how this team fares out for the rest of the way before I start getting ahead of myself that they could low-key be contenders going into the playoffs. But right now, I'm feeling very confident with the way this team is playing. Asar Thompson locked up Jayson Tatum. He crossed up Jayson Tatum, almost made a highlight play, but Stu got fouled, hit his free throws. That's all that matters. But this team is just so much fun to watch. They play for each other. They love playing for each other. Jaden Ivey's on the sideline turning up. I can't wait till he comes back. And yeah, that goes to my point earlier. People are saying they didn't have Jaylen Brown. We didn't have Jaden Ivey. That's our second leading scorer. Tobias Harris has been balling out. Jalen Duren's been playing good. Ryan Holland's been playing good. And how about Schroeder? He's been on this team for a week and a half, 2 weeks now. And he's on the sideline. He didn't play last night, but he's having a hell of a time. I'm having so much fun watching this basketball team. I think they are going to do some damage in the playoffs, and they might low-key be contenders coming out of the Eastern Conference. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Go Pistons.